This time, 94 Paul Fraze was waiting for him actually behind the line of scrimmage, and Stratford will lose a yard back to the 44, where it'll be 2nd and 11. Fraze, a junior from Barrington, New Hampshire, at 6'4" and 265.
It's the old story, when the offensive line pulls in front of you, you just follow him right down the line of scrimmage. Paul Fraze did exactly that, made the play in the backfield for about a yard loss.
2nd and 11. Halloran over the middle. Incomplete and almost intercepted. It was intended for tight end Peter Casparillo. Terry Wooden and Tim Pigeon were there, and Paul Fraze diving for the ball after it was tipped. So the incompletion will make it 3rd and 11, still at the Boston College 44.
And Sean Halloran continues to get great pressure from that offensive line. Bicknell feels, other than quarterback, this is the best Boston College team he's had for talent-wise in a number of years. And that's saying something for the great team that Doug Flutie had.
On 3rd and 11. And complete to Stratford for the first down. Stratford, he may go all the way. Marcus Paul runs him out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Not only is Halloran getting a lot of time, but people are open in the Syracuse secondary, and it's 1st and goal, Boston College.
Syracuse loves to play that zone, but you've got to get pressure on the quarterback. Stratford is lined up in his slot. You see Halloran having all day back there. That stretches the zone out too far. Stratford makes the catch. Broken tackle right there, and that was Buskirk missing the tackle on Stratford. He cut it back inside and finally got it down inside the 10-yard line.
Just inside the 6, where it is 1st and goal. Stratford carrying, trying to get outside. He cannot. Terry Wooden and Marcus Paul come up to make the hit and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, back around the 10 for a loss of 4. So it'll be 2nd and goal, just inside the 10-yard line. And again, Wooden playing outstanding defense, and we have seen him in the last couple of weeks just be everywhere on the field.
He's playing disciplined defense. You have to do that against a guy like Troy Stratt. He'll make a cut, bounce anywhere on that football field. That time, all the lanes were filled by the Syracuse defense. Took Stratford to the sideline, and Wooden finally brought it down for the loss.
And now whistles. And timeout called by Boston College, as Halloran and the offense a little confused us to the formation that they needed. 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And a 50-yard pass play from Sean Halloran to Troy Stratford, setting it up at the 6-yard line, and then the loss on the carry by Stratford back to the 10. So 2nd and goal. With all day in the pocket. Touchdown, Kelvin Martin. Halloran could have eaten his lunch while he waited for somebody to get open. They are not getting any pressure on him, and he is really picking that zone apart. It's 6-0 Boston College.
Syracuse is still afraid to play man, even down on a goal line. They play a zone back here, and you see Halloran right now just pumping with the football. Finally, Martin is breaking clean in the corner of the end zone, but your zone cannot hold up that long. The offensive line, great protection on the entire drive. That's why they put 7 points on the board.
Brian Lowe on to attempt the extra point. He's made 19 of 21 this year. Sean Carmody will do the holding. And this is good. So Boston College overcoming a penalty and scoring on their first possession, taking the lead with 11:04 left to play in the first quarter, 7-0 over Syracuse. And a drive of 80+ yards. The passing of Halloran certainly key in the drive, and of course 4 of the 10-yard touchdown pass to Kelvin Martin.
It was very unusual for a team that played down near the goal line and zone defense. You like to play man-to-man. Syracuse lives and dies by zone. You see people going all over across the field. Martin comes from the other side of the field, back of the corner of the end zone, and it's just the secondary cannot hold up that long because after a few pump fakes, you get out of position. Kelvin Martin just came into the corner of the end zone with a very easy touchdown pass.
Syracuse defensive tackle Wes Dove just did get to Halloran finally, but it was too late as Halloran got the ball away for the touchdown. So Dick McPherson facing the sideline. This is a game that has become quite a rivalry. And Boston College trying for a little payback this year after what Syracuse did to BC in the Carrier Dome last season.
And really, in the last couple of games, Syracuse has been able to put pressure on a quarterback. They put pressure on John Conjemi, but that was really a one-dimensional offense. Boston College can run the football with Troy Stratford, good play-action pass. Sean Halloran is a good thrower, and they really cannot put pressure on Halloran at this point. They're afraid of the running game. They're playing a basic defense right now, and Sean Halloran is going to tear them apart if they continue to give him that kind of protection from his offensive line.
And Syracuse running that 3-4, really not bringing any extra people to put any extra pressure as we look at the scoring drive of 82 yards in just under 5 minutes.
People talk about all the X's and O's you try to do and gimmick people. If you want to stop a good passing game, you got to put pressure on a quarterback or it'll tear you apart.
Brian Lowe to kick off. William Pennyfeather, 18, and Harold Gayden, 47. Back to receive it. And it's going to be Gayden on a short kick at about the 13. Gayden gets a hold and just is tackled around the ankles by number 81, Andy Hemmer, as he crosses the 35. So we'll now see the exciting Don McPherson. And you mentioned earlier in the telecast, Jack, how they can look erratic and almost impotent at times. And all of a sudden, he'll come up with a big play and turn a bad play really into a big game. Johnston and Drummond behind him with Schwades, Kane, and Kelly, three very good receivers in the backfield. And the front as well. The Schwades. Schwades has a couple of blockers and picks up the first down as he gets near the midfield stripe, out to about the 48 before he's knocked down by John Galvin and number 28, Vincent Mudd. Galvin, incidentally, starting defensively for Romanowski at linebackers. We look at Lindstrom, Boza, Farrell, and the others up front, and Galvin and Gaffney, the two linebackers, instead of the injured Romanowski, who has a hamstring problem, and the BC secondary. 1st and 10, Syracuse at their own 48. McPherson lofting it down the far side too far for Tommy Kane. Steve Williams was covering on the play for BC. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Syracuse still at their own 48.
Don McPherson got outside and contained, was trying to motion it to Kane to go downfield. He's motioning with the football. Kane broke the pattern off right around the 40-yard line. When your quarterback's scrambling around, a lot of times you'd like to go deep. You can make a big play because the secondary cannot hold up that man-to-man coverage that long.
McPherson, a junior from West Hempstead, New York, really has come into his own this season. Hits it away under pressure, and it's complete to Darrell Johnston. And Johnston is inside the Boston College 35. Knocked down by the free safety, Carl Pelagata, number 49. And it's a Syracuse first down.
Talk about putting pressure on Don McPherson right at the middle. Here comes John Boza right when McPherson lets the football go. He took a shot from Boza on the play, but got the ball to Johnston up the middle, breaking the zone defense inside the 35-yard line.
It's a gain of 20 to the Boston College 34, 1st and 10. Johnston breaking a tackle inside the 25 and another first down to the 23. And again, it was Carl Pelagata, the free safety, who had to make the tackle.
And Boston College defense is so concerned about Don McPherson. They're forgetting about people like Johnson. Very straight dive handoff, straight ahead blocking. Boston College front seven very strong. That time Johnson got good yardage on the play.
Gain of 11. And another first down. Harold Drummond, Robert Drummond. Drummond's stiff arming to get outside, and then there's a whole bunch of maroon shirts waiting for him. He does pick up a couple down to the 21 for a gain of 2. And Robert Drummond, who has also played wide receiver and will at times, with one running back, move out and play wide receiver.
This is the way you play run-down defense. See the Boston College defensive line and linebackers just pursuing right down. Drummond has no alley, no crease to turn upfield. They stretch him all the way down the sideline. They're finding that John Bowes, the defensive tackle, when they turn him in, he helps out on the play.
2nd down and 8 on the option. McPherson keeping and almost got a pitch away at the last second, but thought better of it as he kept inside the 20 to the 23. Ted Gaffney, 57, and 46 Bill Thompson at defensive end bring him down at the 17. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Don McPherson always thinking about the big play. He was going down, his knee was almost touched down in artificial turf. He looked back to Drummond, thinking to pitch the ball back to him in the last minute, but didn't want to risk a fumble, so he held on to the ball.
McPherson throwing, and Tommy Kane and McPherson a little confused as Kane broke to the inside. McPherson threw the ball to the sideline. Steve Williams was covering on the play, but it'll be 4th and 5, and the field goal unit comes on for Syracuse. Tim Vessling, who has made 10 of 14 and is perfect inside 50 yards, his longest is 47, will attempt a 34-yard field goal. Good. So with 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the score now, Boston College 7, Syracuse 3.
Well, they really do not have that power running game. The big offensive lineman like Boston College. The numbers are a little bit deceiving in the sense that the quarterback has made a lot of those big yards.
Tim Vessling to kick off. Tyrone Taylor 21 and Kelvin Martin 82 are waiting for it for Boston College, and it's a short one. Tyrone Taylor at the 13. And to the 25, knocked down by Pete Ewald, number 26, the special teams tri-captain. So the Eagles leading 7-3, have it 1st down at their own 25. They drove 82 yards on their first possession to score. 25. And we'll see if, in fact, Syracuse tries anything differently defensively, as they were totally unable to put any kind of pressure on Halloran in that opening drive. And they do now have a 4-down lineman front. Stratford off tackle, picks up 5 to the 30. Paul Fraze, number 94, one of those to make the hit. So it'll be 2nd down and 5, just outside the 30, and Stratford now has carried 5 times for 14 yards.
But Troy Stratford is a guy you really just cannot match up with. You keep him in the backfield in the I formation, outstanding running back, but also line him up in the slot. He caught the big pass for a long gain on the first drive, lining up as a wide receiver.
John Bronner in at fullback, and Bronner pounds forward from the 30 to about the 33 or 4 yard line. Sort of falling down behind his offensive line for the gain. It'll be 3rd and about 1.5 yards to go at the 33.5. They need to get just across the 35. Fake to Stratford. Halloran throwing long, and he has Flutie way out there and open. Flutie for a Boston College touchdown. On 3rd and 1, a 66-yard bomb from Halloran to Darren Flutie. And they love it here on Chestnut Hill.
We've seen Jack Bicknell, a lot of big plays on 3rd, 4th down and 1. This is a 3rd down play, and Ewald is beaten by about 10 yards on a play by Darren Flutie, another skilled wide receiver. Sean Howard just did a good job of laying the ball out there and letting Flutie come underneath. But look at the offensive line, give the protection. Look at that pocket for Sean Halloran to stand in there, and he lets the ball go. No one's even near him, not even close to touching Sean Halloran on the play. The key right now in the first quarter has been the offensive line of Boston College.
Brian Lowe on to attempt the extra point. It is perfect. And with 6:55 left to play in the first quarter, The joints jumping already. The score with a timeout on the field. Boston College 14, Syracuse 3. We'll be right back. Halloran to Flutie. It took him 1 minute and 20 seconds and 3 plays, and here it is again.
See Sean Howard, just a play action pass. They go on the fake to Troy Stratford. When he realizes that Darren Flutie's that wide open, what he wants to do is just lay the ball out there and let Flutie just run underneath it. You don't want to miss a guy that wide open. He puts the ball up in the air, and Flutie makes the adjustment and makes the easy touchdown catch. And
he properly threw the ball to the center of the field rather than trying to throw it down the sideline to give Flutie more maneuvering room and eliminate the possibility of throwing it out of bounds. So the kickoff by Brian Lowe, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to have any piece of skin uncovered today, but Brian kicks it that way, and he uses a roll of tape for a kicking tee. That's just a roll of adhesive tape that he sets down on the 35-yard line and chooses to use that over the molded, manufactured type of kicking tee. Squibber along the ground. He may have missed it. I don't know. It's rolling out of bounds. So he will have to do it again as it went out of bounds at the 21 of Syracuse untouched.
He may go back to the conventional tee.
He may go back to putting a shoe on, I would hope. I don't know how he could feel the ball. I mean, you don't wear a shoe, or you wear a light shoe as a kicker so that you can feel the ball. But when your toe and foot are frozen, how can you feel anything anyway? I guess he's used to it. So the illegal procedure penalty for kicking the ball out of bounds moves the ball back to the 30. And Brian will have to do it again. Brian, a sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 6'2", 190. There's that rather unconventional tee. 3 possessions in the game, 2 by Boston College, 1 by Syracuse. Each has resulted in a score. As Boston College leads 14-3, and we're just past the midway part of the first quarter. Again, a low line drive. And Gayden took it and fell down, so he is down right at the 16-yard line. Gayden sort of fighting that knuckleball of a kick. Gathered it in, lost his balance, and was ruled to be down. They mark it at the 17, where it'll be 1st and 10.
Boy, things go well for your team. Boston College on a roll right now. That ball was a low line drive, could easily been returned past the 30-yard line. Gayden had to go down. He did not want the ball to go by him. He went down and he touchdown to college football. The ball was in possession of Syracuse right there.
Bill Romanowski in at linebacker for Boston College, still bothered by the pulled hamstring. McPherson gives to Johnston, and Darrell Johnston picks up 3 to the 20, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. Romanowski and Boza, the 2 main men on defense as far as the number of tackles they've made for BC, and Romanowski's absence from that defense could be a key factor, especially if Don McPherson runs the option. Romanowski's in there now. 2nd and 7. McPherson on the option pass, gets it to Schwede, and Steve Williams wrestles Schwade's out of bounds around the 37. And it should be enough for the 1st down, and it is. Well, what a career Scott Schwades has had. That's his 36th catch this year. He's gained almost 500 yards receiving this season, and does it all.
He's a type of receiver. Not only has the great speed, 4.4 to 40-yard dash, but also knows how to get open against his own defense. Very intelligent receiver. McPherson loves to go to him.
1st and 10 Syracuse at their own 37. Collision in the backfield, and then in the 2nd collision, the ball is free, but they're going to rule it's down. Number 98, Mike Degnan, broke in, and after McPherson and Johnston had bumped together, made the tackle. The ball squirted loose, but it's ruled to be not a fumble.
When you run that option, down the line option, you got to make everything smooth. You see the bump right there on Don McPherson. Threw the timing off. That's when Degnan coming from the backside. Unfortunately for Don McPherson, he held on to the football. He never saw Degnan coming from the backside.
The ball is at the 34, where it is 2nd and 13. McPherson firing for Tommy Kane. Vincent Munn, number 28, had the coverage in the Boston College secondary, so it'll be 3rd and 12 or 13. Still back at the 34.
Don McPherson rolling out to his left, a right-handed quarterback trying to put something on the football to Kane. It's very difficult running to your left, throwing on with your right arm, and trying to get some accuracy with the football. He's missed Kane twice now on big plays, one when they had to settle for the field goal inside the 10-yard line.
3rd and 13. And a blitz. Picked up nicely, and McPherson throws long. Too long, with Scott Schwade's out there. Garrick McPherson, number 48, had the coverage, but the ball was overthrown. So the punting unit comes on for Syracuse on 4th and 13 from their own 34.
McPherson did a good job of jamming Schwade as he came down. He tried to run a hook and go deep pattern downfield on the pump fake. That's when Schwade ran the hook and then went up the field. McPherson jammed him through the timing off on the long pass.
So Jim Fox, the all-time leading punter in Syracuse history with the most punts, gets the high snap and gets away a pretty good one. Kelvin Martin will call for the fair catch at the 22. So the first punt of the day comes on the 4th possession, a 43-yarder by Fox, and the score. With 5:16 to go in the first quarter, Boston College 1st and 10 at their own 23, leading 14-3. Stratford trying to fight his way through his own man, and Wes Dove, number 71, breaks through to bring him down by the ankles. Maybe a loss of a half yard or so on the play. Officially, they will call it, I'm sure, 2nd down and 11.
And Wes Dove saved a big play. Stratford had an idea. He got stopped right at the line of scrimmage up the middle, decided to try to get to the outside, and Dove brought him down by the ankles. He had a lot of room to the outside because the Syracuse defense was all bunched up in the middle. No one was containing on the play.
BC at their own 22. Halloran has pressure, gets it away, and the intended receiver Kelvin Martin went down. Pete Ewald, 26, went up for the ball. Keith Freiberg, number 98, almost got to Halloran that time.
See Kelvin Martin playing his zone defense, backpedaling out of there, giving him a lot of room underneath. That's when Martin is trying to take on the play, but he slips on the artificial turf. It's a dry field out there right now, artificial surface, and I'm not sure why he went down, but it might be just a little bit slick on the sidelines.
3rd down and 11, and Boston College 3 for 3 in 3rd down conversions so far. There's a penalty flag down as Halloran runs out of the pocket and is tackled to the 25 by Tim Pigeon, number 54. So we will see what the infraction might be as referee Thomas Thamert gets the word from the head linesman who threw the flag.
Looked like an illegal procedure penalty. He turned upfield in motion before the snap of the football. Officials on the sideline threw the flag immediately. I think they'll decline the penalty and set up the 4th down situation for Boston College.
Procedure against the offensive team. Refused. 4th down.
When you have a wide receiver in motion going across the formation, you want to time it up as quickly as you can right with the snap of the football because you want to run your route downfield. And they're trying to time it up, and he just went off a count early, and the official threw the flag.
David Rooney, averaging 36.5 yards per punt, is on to boot it away and gets it away. A high hanger. Scott Schwades with a fair catch at the 44 of Syracuse. He is inadvertently run into by Bill Smithers, number 51, but no flag is thrown. A 31-yard punt is all by Rooney, and Syracuse has good field position at their own 45, 1st and 10.
Some of the Syracuse fans over here booing on the play when Scott Schwades called for the fair catch and got bumped, but the official was right there. He hardly even got touched on the play, and he felt incidental contact and not throw the flag.
McPherson dropping and under some pressure gets it away and completes it to the tight end, number 84, Pat Kelly. John Galvin, number 55, with the tackle immediately, but a big gain on 1st down into BC territory at the 47, where it'll now be 2nd down and 2.
But also he's getting a lot of pressure right up the middle from John Boza. Boza is the type of guy you cannot block just with one man. You've got to double team him, sometimes keep it back in the backfield. If McPherson continues to get pressure up the middle, that could be a big problem for him as the game goes on.
He's hard to corral, though, even when you do get the pressure on him. Johnston and Darrell Johnston behind a lead block from Robert Drummond. Running off tackle for the first down as John Galvin again, 55, makes the tackle, along with number 72, Tom Correll, the nose guard. The gain is to the Boston College 43, where it's 1st and 10 Syracuse.
Syracuse did a good job of running the football last week against Navy, but talking to Coach Dick McPherson at Syracuse, he felt he'd have trouble running against a big, strong defensive line. All the yardage on first down with the running game is really bonus for him in this offense.
Both teams moving the ball well. And a reverse to Schwades. Schwades trying to get outside, and he cannot. Outstanding defensive play by Carl Crespane, number 35, the strong safety, who really did his job to perfection. Not only was he there, but he made the tackle.
You bring Scott Schwades down an open field. Here's the pursuit. Boston College coming back defensively. Crespane right out here. A little fake inside. He does not go for it. He knows that Schwades is trying to get to the outside, does not take the inside fake, and brought him down. They also throw the football off that same play. They may come back later with Scott Schwades throwing the football downfield. He has thrown a couple touchdown passes.
Loss of 2. It is 2nd and 12 back at the 45 of Boston College. Dropped by McPherson over the middle and complete to Schwades. And Schwades is bulldogged down by Garrick McPherson as he crosses the 40. He gets to the 43, a gain of 5 or 6 yards, where it'll be 3rd and about 6.
He's just the type of guy, he just knows how to get open, find the open area in that defensive secondary. And Don McPherson is so confident going to him and knows he's going to get open, so right down the middle to him, he made the catch.
Boza all over him, and he's sacked. Back at the 47, John Boza and Wes Dove, or Dave Nugent, I should say, who's in there at nose guard, number 71. Along with John Boza, bring him down for the loss, and it's 4th down.
Here's the pressure up right up the middle. Off the outside, you see John Boza beating the offensive lineman. Don McPherson try to run up into the pocket, but he's got pressure up the middle as well. Defensive front four of Boston College did a good job. They're going to have to double team John Boza. They cannot single block him and keep him away from Don McPherson.
So Jim Fox on to punt. Kelvin Martin back inside his 10, and Fox left foots it out of there. It's not a good kick, and Martin takes the fair catch at the 15. Boston College at their own 15, leading 14-3 with under a minute left to play here in the first quarter, and the Eagles in pretty good company.
The Boston College defense knows right now their defensive line can put pressure up the middle. They know John Boza and Degman and people like that can rush right up the middle. It's a mismatch against the Syracuse offensive line. Their offensive line not big enough, not physical enough to handle those big defensive linemen.
Runner in at fullback, but it's Stratford who gets the ball and picks his way for 5 out to the 20 before Terry Wooden, number 90, slams him down. So it'll be 2nd and 5 right at the 20. Scott Schwades with a little contact lens problem. Getting it readjusted. You know it took 3 guys to put your contact lens back in. But I guess when you're Scott Schwades and you're that important.
That was a linebacker. They wouldn't even go over there.
Defensive players forget it.
Yeah, wide receiver, that's a valuable commodity out there. They got to make sure he's okay.
On 2nd and 5, Stratford again slips and falls as he cuts behind the line of scrimmage. Wes Dove was there right in front of it. And the loss will be 2 back to the 23, where it'll be 3rd and 7.
Well, this is the second time this year a Boston College team has had a problem with the footing. They had the problem down in West Virginia in the game where they had a lot of guys slipping and falling in the first half, and now the same thing is occurring. First Calvin Martin, and now Troy Stratford falling and slipping on the artificial turf.
And that's the end of the first quarter here from behind, and knocked the ball away from Halloran. But the fumble recovered by one of the